I have not been this excited for something in so long. I am so excited for today's video. First of all, hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm V. And in today's video, I'm going to be brainstorming and outlining a shiny new story idea. You guys, I have been dreaming of this moment for the past few months because I knew it was coming up that I would be finishing the last story that I was working on, which was Project ITL, my soon-to-be, hopefully, debut romance novel that is currently getting prepped to start querying, which is insane. And I knew that I'd be finished that and would have to work on the next project and the next story, because one thing about me is I am going to be that writer. I aspire to be that writer that is just always constantly working on something, and that's just because writing is my passion. It's what I do, it's what I love, and so I always want to be writing something. And now that I'm done with that story, it's time to work on something completely new, and I'm so excited. I actually don't even know what my story is fully gonna be. I have a notes list on my phone. I have a list on my notes app on my phone. Sorry, I can't even speak. I'm trying to hurry this intro up so that I can start because I'm just so excited. But yeah, I've had this list for years on my phone, and basically anytime I think of a story idea, I jot it down, whether that's like a mini concept or I'm like, I want a moment like this in a book in the future. I just have a list of random things that I could work off of. And when I was doing my brainstorming and outlining vlog for Project ITL, I knew what story idea I wanted to work on. But for this one, I don't know. So I'm gonna have to consult the list and see what makes me the most excited. Like I look at it and I'm like, I wanna work on that. But it's like a big decision because it's gonna be the book I am working on entirely for the next, who knows, months, year. I'm not saying years, okay, because it might be years, but I'm gonna try to not take as long as it took for ITL, which was 3 years, which is really long. That includes revisions and stuff, obviously. But yeah, I'm so excited because in this video, we are gonna be going from a concept, an idea, to this fully sprouted, outlined concept that I can use to start writing the first draft. I'm so excited. I do have 2 story ideas that I've been thinking of the most. That's why I say I've been anticipating this for the past like 2 months, because anytime I started to think of these, I would like push it down because I'm like, no, you have to finish the story you're working on right now. So I think I might have an idea of what the story is gonna be. I don't even have a title, nothing. I'm gonna look at my notes list, pick an idea, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a blank sheet of paper and just write as many ideas as I can. I'm gonna brain dump onto the page everything I can think of surrounding this idea and this concept, because this method has worked for me so well in the past. It's a way to see if I have a substantial story concept that actually is enough to work off of, and also helps me flesh it out a lot more so that I have more to work with when I go into the outlining process. So we are going to do the brain dump step first. It's pouring rain outside. I love it. I used this notebook again. Some of you guys may recognize it. I've used it for so many different writing projects, for like writing trackers, but then it's just my general like art notebook. So I also have paintings in here that I've done that I've shown you in previous vlogs. But yeah, I did a full brain dump. I still have more that I can add to this, and I will, but this is so exciting. Literally the most like exhilarating feeling ever is just figuring out more and more things to add to this, and the page is basically full and I still have more to go. So safe to say this idea has a lot that I can do with it. Things that I still need to figure out though are character names. I still don't have a name for my main character. I have an idea of a name for my love interest, but I think it'll make more sense to explain to you my story concept first, because I realized I never did that, and then after we're in the brain dump we'll get into the next step. So I'm gonna tell you my story idea. I don't even have a project name for it yet. I don't know when it'll come to me. Hopefully soon, because I don't know what to call it right now. It's just untitled. But before I tell you my story idea and move on to the next step, I want to show you guys the new glasses that I got. So it's the perfect time to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Vooglam. It is It's like raining so hard right now. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyway, I have to show you guys these glasses from their new Sankofa collection. The story behind this collection is so beautiful. It's just the perfect example of storytelling through style. So Sankofa is a word from the Twi language of Ghana, and it means to go back and get it. So it's all about learning from the past and using it to shape a better future, and that's exactly what this eyewear collection does. I'm wearing my favorite pair that I got. I love that it has the little gold designs on the side. I'm going to show you in detail the 4 glasses that I got. I'm obsessed with them. This first pair is named Asante, which means thank you in Swahili, and I thought that was so cool because that's actually the language that my parents speak. But my favorite part about this design, because I'm a huge Marvel nerd, is the fact that the design draws from Black Panther. The gold detailing on the front edges nods to the sharp chest plate design in Black Panther, and the patterned temples feature cutout accents for a lighter, more dynamic look. This next pair is the Legacy design, and I think it's so gorgeous. The front temples feature embossed metal totems inspired by traditional African symbols, and it comes in 3 different colors, but when I saw this shade of green, I was like, I have to get this. This one's in the olive camouflage acetate, and I just think it's so pretty. These next ones are called Adinkra, and I'm obsessed with the 3D turquoise inlays on either side of the front frames. I think they're so pretty. It's subtle yet refined, just like the African pattern hidden on the inner temples. And once again, we've got that classic rectangular shape that I think is so flattering for all face types. Finally, we have the Nomad design, and I love the cat eye shape of this one. I've never seen cat eye on me, but I think it looks so cute. And once again, it's inspired by the iconic black and gold palette and clean tailoring from Black Panther. The gold metal piece between the temples and end pieces features rivet elements and cyberpunk inspired detailing, adding a bold text structured look, and a subtle Sankofa totem motif is embedded at the temple tips, honoring and modernizing African cultural expression. If you grab at least 1 pair from the Sankofa collection, Vooglam is giving you a free festival bracelet with your order. I have one too, and they're so gorgeous. Plus, if you use my code V25, you'll get an extra 25% off. The link and code will be on screen and in the description below. A huge thanks to Vooglam for sponsoring today's video. Peak happiness right now. About to eat good food while watching some YouTube, and then I get to go and continue to brainstorm this new story. Peak happiness. Okay guys, it's finally time to tell you guys my story idea, at the same time determining, is this blurbable, because I think it's so important before going into writing a story to make sure it's blurbable. You have a description that you could put on the back of the book, because I learned that the hard way with a book that I wrote, Project Soulmates, still near and dear to my heart. So to the best of my ability, I sat down and tried to write a blurb with everything that I have planned out and the concept that I know of based off of the brain dump. But I still don't have a title and I still don't have character names. So what I do have is that this follows a spoiled, obnoxious city girl who's been acting out ever since her mom passed away a couple years ago. And when she crosses one too many lines, her dad sends her away for the summer to a relatively tiny town with no Wi-Fi and lots of nature. And so she's basically banished to heal and get her act together. It's gonna be light and fluffy, but I need and love to write books with deeper elements to them. So we have the emotional subplot of grief and her rediscovering who she was before her mom died and who she might become next. And I'm really happy with that subplot because I think it'll be very healing for me to write about. Anyway, but romance element. While she's there, she ends up getting assigned basically a guide for the summer who's going to be a local boy, and he will be just as excited to be her guide as she is to be there for the summer. Basically, he finds her ridiculous, she finds him infuriating, and they're both kind of right. But spoiler alert, over the course of the summer and everything that they do together, they will both slowly learn to uncover parts of themselves that they didn't see before. How'd I do? How was that? It's gonna be so interesting to see when I'm completely done what the blurb will be compared to this one, my first go at it, before I know all the changes that I'm gonna make or that are gonna happen during revisions even. I haven't even drafted, but that too. But yes, now we are moving on to the next step, which is characters. I'm going to create what they'll look like physically, visually. Their names, I need to figure out their names, so whether I use random name generator or whatever. And then I have to do character profiles, which will take a while. That'll probably take me the rest of the night because it's like 9:21 right now and I go to bed usually at like 10:30. So yeah, that's my task for the night, is character creation. I'm so excited to introduce you guys to my main characters. Meet Georgia and Reed. Okay, I'm obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with the names. I feel like they just fit these characters so perfectly. And after I created them on Artbreeder, which is what I've been using to create characters like literally since my first video, and you know, it works well enough for me that I haven't even tried to find if there are any better character creation websites out there. If you guys know of any, let me know. I'm very curious. I was even considering using Sims because I started playing Sims on my computer recently. Well, I only did one session because I was like, I have a lot of productive things I need to be doing in these next few weeks. And so I was like, I cannot get sucked into this right now because I know that I will spend sunup to sundown playing on Sims. So anyway, but I did make my Sims and I was like, this is so detailed, like so detailed that I could use this as character creation. But anyway, can't do that because my MacBook huffs and puffs louder than a Mount Everest climber anytime I play The Sims on it. So anyway, created my characters and then I went ahead on Pinterest and made character mood boards for them. I love doing this. It helps me discover more about their personality as well because I have to find pictures that are related to their interests, to their personality, to their style. You know, style says a lot about a character. And I pull some quotes too, just anything that encapsulates who this character is, I will put in their character mood board. And as I was doing this, I was like, I feel like I have a really good sense of who Georgia is and who Reed is, which is amazing. And I'm excited, obviously, as I'm writing to discover more about them. Like, that's gonna be so exciting. But the next step is to actually fill out a character profile for them, get deeper into their backstory, likes, dislikes, flaws, etc. And this is a step that I take very seriously because the more I know about my character, the easier it is to write about them. So I'm gonna make an iced coffee because I really want an iced coffee today. And I'm gonna sit outside because, guys, I don't know how it's already mid-August. I don't know. But when it starts to get colder, not to mention I am very excited for the fall, do not get me wrong, but I do want to take advantage of the weather right now and the blue skies and the greenery. So I am gonna sit in the backyard, open my laptop, open a new Scrivener document, which makes this feel so official. And a lot of people ask me what writing platform I use to write. It's Scrivener. I love it. The link is in my description. I love it so much. Pull it open, make a new Scrivener document for this project that I still don't have a title for. Not even a working title, you guys. it has not come to me. It's really annoying. Anyway, and then I'm gonna format it and organize it with my character profile included, my plotting outline, because I have so many different resources that I love to use for plotting and outlining. I have like a Raccoon writing notebook, which was so helpful for my previous novels. I also obviously love Romance the Beats. I'll get into this later when I'm outlining, but basically I want everything organized in Scrivener so that every time I open my project, everything is in grasp. So I'm gonna organize that, fill out the character profile, and then we're gonna get into outlining. Also, you guys, I went to Toronto yesterday to hang out with my friend. It was so fun. Literally like the most picture perfect day. We took a ferry out to Ward's Island and we walked around, and people live on this island. It's crazy. The houses are so beautiful, so unique, and they're literally overgrown with nature in the most gorgeous way possible. And I was walking around there and I was thinking about my novel so much because I was like, I really like this as a setting for my novel, just in the sense of like lots of nature. Like it feels very connected with nature there, and I'm excited for the setting for this book because I've never written in a setting like this. But yeah, that's just a little side tangent. Let's go make coffee. Okay, you guys, my loose outline is done, and I say loose because for the first draft of a story, I tend to discovery write, and I feel like it just works a lot better for me because, I don't know, I feel like I can can get a more natural flow of the story when I'm thinking of what's gonna happen next as I'm going, because it's like I write this scene and then I'm like, I finish it off at like a chapter ends a certain way and I'm like, oh, okay, so what feels like the best way to get into the next chapter, or this feels right to come right after this. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it just, I like to see where the character takes me, where the plot takes me. But I do think it's super, super important to have the main structure laid out so that your story is still accomplishing the character arc and the like major plot. So a couple things that I did fill out was the Romance That Beats Beat Sheet by Gwen Hayes. I use that a lot as a reference for my romances. And then also Save the Cat writes a novel, so like a mix of the two of them. And then also I think one of Abby Emmons's plot worksheets or whatever, I fill out everything that I can. It's important for me to know the inciting incident, which I have planned out, the setup, like what their life looks like before the inciting incident. The middle is the murky part that I usually don't have plotted out, but also it makes sense for me to discovery write that for the first draft. And then because I know my character arc and how it starts and how it ends, it's kind of easier to plot out the ending too. So I have like the major beats plotted out. I also used Raccoon Story Builder. I got this like a while ago, and I'm not going to get into the very specifics of it because I made a whole video on it, from taking your idea to a solid story concept, which I'll link below. Also, it's in the cards. But I basically just answered every question on that to make sure that I have a theme and conflict, etc. And that was so helpful. I highly recommend doing that. And so now with all of that done, I feel ready to start working on this draft. I plot a lot more for future drafts, I should say, like second draft, third draft, obviously after I've told myself this story. But this is crazy. This is where we start writing this story. I of course will vlog me starting this story, so don't you worry, that video will be coming soon. But guys, I am so excited to write this story. I can't even tell you how excited I am, and I hope you guys stick around as I start this exciting new writing project that still doesn't have a name or a working title. I hope it'll come to me soon. If you guys have any ideas based off of what you know about my story, feel free to leave them in the comments below. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I wish you guys the best of luck on your writing projects if you have any, and I will see you in my next video where I start writing this story. I am so excited. Bye!